Welcome back to MikiCarrBeauty. I'm Miki, and on my channel, I love to talk about luxury skincare and beauty. And go ahead and hit the subscribe and all button to get the notifications, and ring the bell and comment and like below. And we're going to do a little bit different of a format this time with this review. I already know how I feel about this palette, and just a spoiler alert, I did not care for this palette, although the looks I came up with were really beautiful. So I swatched this palette, and I could see that I really did not like the bottom two shades. Reds do not look good on my eyes, as most people, and they looked way too similar to each other. So I decided just to use the top two shades. So just, the caveat and spoiler alert that I'm only using the top two shades in this review. So I'm using that top right shade, the pink one, is a one and done. And I actually think it's a really beautiful diffused out, and I wanted to build it up. But after I'd done the swatches, I just knew that this wasn't the palette for me, but I wanted to take one for the team, at least use the colors that I knew that I liked, which were that light pink one and this kind of like a champagne pink color. So you're seeing me use the champagne pink color again as a one and done diffused throughout the lid. It looks really, really pretty. I'm enjoying it. And then you can see the first layer of how it looks diffused. And I just wanted you to see what an easy one and done would look like with the pink one and the champagne color. So I go in to use it as a wet formula, because it is a wet and dry formula. So I used some rose water, sprayed it on my Fenty Beauty brush that I got from Fenty Japan. So I love this brush. I can, if you want some details about it, I'll let you know later. You just DM me. So I'm just flip the brush, and I'm using the original brush actually from the first application, and also wetted that brush just to get a more of an impact. And so you can see I actually build the intensity of that first pink shade. I'm actually quite impressed of how this is actually just one color diffuse. It's quite pretty, but it's not a color I would normally use every day. I was trying to think of what outfits in my wardrobe I would use that, and I really don't. And I definitely wouldn't use the bottom two very often. It's just too red and too purpley red. And so I'm just going in with liquid liner here, with black liquid liner, making some wings to amp it up. And I'm going for a soft romantic look. I just feel like this reminds me of that Love palette from Natasha Denona, which I never kept and I never used. And I know that this is more with the pinks, it's a soft romantic look, so I wanted to wing out my eyes, then cleaning up the edges here. And then just going with the same color that's on the top to the bottom, just to connect the two. Very light, very ethereal, very subtle. And then using my finger to get more impact from the shadow. And then going in again with that left eye with the same color that I use on top, and connecting it with the bottom, and then using my finger for more impact, which I like doing with a lot of shadows. Is like I end up using my finger for a more impact of the mobile lid. And then using the MAC Giga Black tubing mascara for my bottom lashes, and then I'll go into Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara with several coats, because I want my eyelashes to have full volume with this really nice romantic look. And I'm really happy with this look. So that's the look number one with just that pink shade diffused. I'm really happy with it, but at the same time, as I'm going through this demo, and I know in my head that this quad is pretty much after tax, it's over $90. And for me to just like two shades in the palette, it's really ridiculous. It's basically $45 of a palette, of a $90 palette that I'll end up using. And so I'm like, okay, I got to use this palette in more ways, so why don't I try using it as a face palette? So going into that pink shade and using it as blush, and actually it's really quite pretty. It's not really meant to be a blush, so it did look a little bit patchy, but the color is beautiful. So I'm just seeing again, just testing if it's really worth the $90 if I can justify the purchase. But again, it's not super smooth. I can compare it like in terms of quality to that Chanel face palette. That was much smoother and less patchy. And then going into that pink champagne color to see if it's a highlight. It's okay. It's really meant as a eyeshadow shade again. It's not really a highlighter, not particularly smooth. But again, I'm just trying to see if I can justify this $90 palette as a face palette. And it's very pretty, but after a couple days, I realized it wasn't for me. So I'm finishing this look with the Suqqu Lip Treatment formula. It's a new gloss oil formula, and it's the shade 05. I think it's a berry pink, and I love this gloss. It's more of a treatment, so it acts like a gloss balm. So here I am comparing, showing you what I did with this look. Again, apologies, I just didn't want to waste my time using the bottom shades. And here's the final look with some photo stills. I think it's a very pretty romantic look, but again, I just couldn't justify the price tag of this cherry smoke Tom Ford quad being almost $90. It certainly could be duped with other independent eyeshadows, and I certainly have dupes in my collection. And then so I tried it later on that week, doing a third look and just using that champagne pink shade, and then I think I did use the purple shade at the bottom right to smoke it out. And it was beautiful. But again, if I don't see myself grabbing it, it's just not worth it to me. But I enjoyed the looks I did come up with. So I hope that was helpful for you, Beauty Fam. And if you like that, please subscribe below and comment and like. And let me know what you think of this quad. Thanks for joining. Until the next video. Bye, Beauty Fam.